Did you know that the name Assam comes from the Invincible Ahoms who ruled the region for almost 600 years? We take you to the grand capital they left behind. The Ahoms are the descendants of Tai clan from the present-day Yunnan province of China and are said to have migrated to the valley of Brahmaputra from present-day Myanmar in 13th century. Their leader Chulonglong Sukaphaa or Sukaphaa laid the foundation of a new state by suppressing the older political system in the 16th century. And this Ahom Dynasty went on to rule the region for more than 600 years, from 1228 to 1838, till it was annexed by the British. It is thus only fitting that the word Assam is derived from Asama or Invincible, the local name for the Ahoms. But it wasn't only their political or administrative prowess that was formidable. The Ahom rulers were also great builders, and many of the medieval shrines and palaces in the plains of northeastern India are credited to them. The signature features of their monuments are their sheer size and solidity, both of which can be seen in Sivasagar, the Ahom capital from 1699 to 1788. Some of the standout Ahom structures here are the Kareng Ghar or palace, Rang Ghar or amphitheater, Sivadol Temple Complex, and Talatal Ghar or military station. The Ahom style of architecture can be seen as a synthesis of various cultures, traditions, and religious influences. It presents as a unique blend of distinct architectural structures and styles ranging from domes and arches inspired by Mughal architecture to great shikhara and mantaps, which are key elements of traditional Hindu architecture. It is the great temples of Sivasagar and Gaurisagar that one sees Hindu iconographies converging with tribal deities and reliefs, with temples and secular building dotted with influences of this rich ancestry. Sivasagar soon turned into a crucible of learning, a melting pot of distinct influences from which emerged newer forms of culture and architecture. This versatile group of artists came together to showcase their talents and build magnificent temples like Shivdol, Devidol, and Vishnudol on the banks of Sivasagar tank. The grand palaces of Gargaon and Rangpur and great centers of sports and learning like Rang Ghar in a style that is unique to the Ahoms. During the early years, Ahom architects primarily used wood and bamboo to construct the palaces and other important structures. However, with the passage of time and after careful observations on the weathering quality of such materials, the use of bricks and an organic cement made of eggs, fish, molasses, pulses, and lime became more popular. The inspiration for such a cement probably came from the Mughals, who used a similar concoction to fortify their structures like the Imam Bada in Lucknow. The Gargaon Palace, built during the reign of Rajeshwara Simha, was the first structure to be constructed using these materials. Soon, this unique technique, which was new indeed, became a defining feature of Ahom's architecture and ensured the longevity of these magnificent buildings. Ancestor worship was and still remains a very important part of the Ahom culture, which is reflected in the elaborate maidens' burial tombs that the Ahoms built in the sacred city of Jaredeo. Another defining feature of Ahom architecture is the excavation of large tanks, most notably Joysagar, which is the largest tank to be excavated under the patronage of Rudrasimha in 1698. Ramparts built at strategic locations with great moats surrounding their perimeter and Silla circles or stone bridges are among the other examples of Ahom architectural ingenuity. Sports and entertainment were an integral part of Ahom culture, and the massive grounds of Rang Ghar stand testimony to this fact. Rang Ghar, or the House of Entertainment, is believed to be one of the oldest surviving amphitheaters in Asia, with bullfights, hawk fights, and tiger fights being popular during his reign. Swaragadio Paramatma Simha commissioned the construction of this colossal amphitheater in 1747 AD. This unique architecture, which can only be compared to the Grand Colosseum in Rome, was built with thin bricks and organic cement to keep the interiors cool. It consists of an oval amphitheater built in two levels, with a roof in the shape of an inverted Ahom longboard. This grand roof, crowned with crocodile or makara ends, rests upon rows of massive columns and semicircular arches. The central unit of the amphitheater is rectangular, however small. Trapezoidal structure at its end transformed the entire structure into a giant octagon. The inner walls of Rang Ghar were coated with a lime and brick plaster, decorated with elaborate panels depicting elephant and bird fights. However, only a fraction of these sculptural embellishments survive to this day. It is unfortunate that earthquakes and seismic surveys undertaken by ONGC have resulted in the development of close to 35 cracks in this 18th century marvel. Just 1.5 kilometers north of Sivasagar tank lies Rangpur Palace, a 7-storied royal complex considered to be one of the largest and finest examples of Ahom architecture. Swargadeo Rudra Singh, who relocated the capital of the Ahom kingdom from Gargaon to Rangpur, commissioned the palace to be built in bamboo and wood in 1698 AD. It was later renovated by Rajeshwara Simha in brick and organic cement with a 3-storied Talatal Ghar and 2 secret passages being added to the original structure of Kareng Ghar. The Rangpur Palace chronicles a long and devastating narrative of the end of the Ahom Empire, since this was where the last Thungkhungya king Chandrakanta Simha 1797 to 1839 and his wife Queen Padmavati were confined by the Burmese right before the First Anglo-Burmese War, which made the British the new masters of the Brahmaputra Valley. Talatal Ghar, which literally translates to underground home, was the military stronghold of the dynasty and was thus initially built as an army base. It houses 2 secret tunnels, which were used as an escape route during Ahom wars, in addition to its 3-storied underground structure, with one exit leading to the Gargaon Palace and the other leading to the river. The Ahoms had a foolproof exit plan. Built in brick and organic cement, the existing structure retains an irregular shape due to the number of alterations it was subjected to after Rudrasimha's death. Kareng Ghar, which is mainly built of wood, is a magnificent structure that extends up to 4 stories with a long corridor connecting several rooms, running its length from east to west with a few smaller wings running from north to south. It is believed that the ground floor of Kareng Ghar housed storerooms, stables, and servant quarters, while the upper floors served as royal abodes. A visit to the ruins of this medieval structure reveals a flight of stairs running all the way up to the terrace, probably used as a vantage point in times of political unrest. To its north stands a large conference hall or Mantra Nagar. The complex also features an octagonal prayer room and an isolated southern quarter to which Queen Padmavati was believed to be confined by the Burmese rulers. The Ahom tradition of excavating large tanks and surrounding them with impressive temples dedicated to the worship of Shiva, Vishnu, and Durga led to the construction of Sivasagar tank, also known as Borpukri, and its 3 Hindu temples. The Sivasagar group of temples constructed between 1731 and 1734 AD during the reign of Queen Ambika are regarded as one of the foremost examples of Ahom architecture. Sivadol is one of the highest altitude Shiva temples in India and is considered to be a great place of sanctity this day. Built in brick and stone, this medieval marvel stands on an octagonal plinth with a square Mukha Mantapa, which is unique to this Ahom temple. The Mukha Mantapa is also unique as it features a thatched Bengali style roof, also known as Charachala. Sivadol has three entrances and a permanent tin shed which is now used as the main Sabha Mantapa of the temple. Sivadol was built to honor Durga, revered as the supreme goddess of power. Both Vishnudol and Sivadol features architectural and dimensional similarities, with their boundaries up to the level of the Bada being built in stone. The most magnificent features of these two temples is the brick-built dome that crowns them in the style of a shikhara. Universe was commissioned by Queen Ambika in 1734. It stands adjacent to Sivadol along the banks of Burphukri. Vishnudol, dedicated to the Lord and Preserver of the universe, was commissioned by Queen Ambika in 1734. It stands adjacent to the Sivadol along the banks of Burphukri.
press it now, and we would love to know your feedback in the comment section below. Till then, love.